starts recording, anybody can stop it too.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Well, I started seeing you like when you were talking before. You're standing. It's an interesting planet. It's very kind of like terracotta type color planet. You know what it is? It's a regional Mars. That's what came to me. Wait, it's an interesting thing here. So I see like some sort of low mountains, and they're that color, and around them there's just little rocks. And in between two mountains, there is like there's some sort of like a dome built in between, and it's glass and light blue glass. The atmosphere is very bright blue, and the glass, um, it kind of like molds in or blends in to the atmosphere, so you don't really see it.
Mm.
But I see you standing in the white robe, just like nurse or doctor would, and I see this interesting, prolonged, like they have capsules with babies,
Oh,
and they're human babies, and you look human too. But your fingers are longer than human. Your neck is longer. You have face is more prolonged. The cheekbones are more like kind of like sharp. If I can explain, and then
mhm.
the lips are very kind of like somebody drew them on. Like pretty shape, like classical type
Mhm.
of shape. And your eyes are green, but they're on the dark side. This hazel green type color.
Mhm.
You do have hair. It's kind of wheat color hair. It's pretty long. You look like you would be, I don't know, human time age would be 25, something like this. And you're just taking I see you taking this one baby. It looks very interesting. It looks as it has these bright blue eyes, almost like crystals instead of the eyes. And it's looking at you, and you like lock in that glancing at that baby. And you're taking the baby in the garden. There's like a garden right before the mountains, but it's a floating garden. Just see, when I saw it the first time, like I was thinking, it's a surface that is kind of terracotta with lots of little pebbles, and it's dry. But then all of a sudden, I see there is like grass and flowers, beautiful white flowers around, and then I see this kind of floating garden. It's like, it looks like that dumpling, like the Chinese, I guess, like that. It's round base and like that on top, and it almost like it's dangling on some invisible thread because it goes like this and like that, and like TikTok, like you almost feel it. There's some sort of pattern or in vibration that goes. And inside, there's like literally like water inside. And she takes the baby with that thing that the baby is lying on, right? And she's putting the baby in that half capsule in that water. And I see the baby's kind of like shifting and going like this. But there are flowers all over. There are very interesting flowers. They look like big yellow, like tulips, but upside down. And they're producing some noise, some sound. I hear it's almost like a classical music, and the babies are sleeping in that classical music. But when I asked you why you doing this? Because there are 18 of them, kind of swimming in that artificial pond, in that bubble that is like floating above the grass with flowers. And you said it's for developing for the maturation of their brain, because they're getting ready to incarnate on Earth.
Oh.
And they all have blue eyes.
Mm.
Some of them indigo kind of eyes. I'm looking at one. He has this lapis. I guess that's a semi-precious stone, the blue, kind of like that, lapis or whatever it's called. Very blue, like darkish blue. Some of them brighter blue. And you say that they need to be, there are different stages of their development, and they need to mature. This, what happens is a soul basically, there's a different thing. There's like a little platform attached with the cord to the planet through the mountain into the lab. It's like I literally see a floating platform, and that's where the souls are sitting there. It's like a computer room, and there are like programs, but they're not really programs. They come from their imagination, from their creative abilities. They want to create certain bodies for themselves to incarnate on Earth, and that's just what they do. I'm focused on this one screen. Manuk, the name is gonna be of the boy, and he's gonna be born in Finland. And this energy is making, like creating his body, his facial features, and all this. They just, it's almost like drawing on the canvas. They're doing that. And then when they created the bodies, they start growing from one cell in these little pods, and then they grow into those bodies, and you take care of the bodies. You're like a caretaker, but you're also an assistant who checks on some parameters, but it mostly has to do with frequencies. And what frequency they need to be raised, in particular 528, 432 frequencies. That's what I see it on the screen. And then, so let's see the process. How do they incarnate then? So when the baby is ready, the body is ready, it's like, it's like mirrors. It's the pattern that exists as this particular body coincides always, you say always coincides with the body that is growing in one of the mothers on earth. And then you have this a system. It's kind of like a Stargate system. I see it. First of all, it looks like a shuttle, but it's like a cigar-shaped shuttle made out of segments, and they're all round and they're all connected to each other. And then the shuttle takes, that's what happens. You take the babies who are ready and mature enough to produce that impulse to the mother. The mother receives the impulse, but the mother was already thinking about getting pregnant. She gets pregnant first. So, and then, since time doesn't really exist, it just next thing you know, she already has a baby of 3 to 4 months, and it's it's totally like molded and projected by the soul who wants to incarnate. But parameters to begin with coincided with what the physical features of the baby would be in that particular mother. So it's like two souls working together, because the soul of a mother, I see her coming and checking on the baby at the astral platform that is connected to the dome on the outside. It's like this vibrational wave of waves all together, like a lot of frequency waves connected. And it's for some reason, yeah, I see it's changing colors. I think it's due to vibration changing. And then when it changes to the green, it's like a green light. Okay, well, you're being born. Get back there. And yeah, it's like and there's just like a portal opening, like a wormhole, and that body gets into one tiny pixel of light, just beam of light, tiny little, and it beams through the portal, and I see that soul is right there.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a new system developed by there's Arcturians and Pleiadians involved in this project because and you work for them. You're partially Arcturian and partially Venetian, you said. But you like exciting projects because right now it's like a big project. It's a large project with mini projects inside. That's what a lot of souls are doing. You said there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of garbage to throw out. There's a lot of layers to destroy. There's so many things to show to others by behaving this certain way and acting by example. And the souls are gonna do just that. They're gonna act by example since they are very little. They're not gonna be understood a lot of times, but it doesn't bother them. They have a protection. It's like a natural program that the soul has inside the essence because it's the only way to make essence remember why and it came here, what it came here to do.
That's amazing.
You keep saying my name is Maura. Maura. That's what she said. And she said the irony is I'm working here, but another part of me is working on Earth. That part of me is talking to you right now. And I split myself because it was my own decision. A lot of us did split ourselves. A lot of us split ourselves and are peaceful, independent watchers or observers of our other parts. Sometimes we even come to ourselves on spaceships, and sometimes we come to ourselves and scare ourselves because when you feel that it's part of you, but it's an energetic part of you that comes to you in a dream or a vision, the human mind is in denial and rejection, and the human mind is scared because it doesn't understand. But then we activate the essence. All it takes sometimes is just this yellow beam of light that comes from my own essence. That I see like a little, like when you plant seeds in the ground, they kind of sprout, and the
Mm-hmm.
sprout goes like this,
Mm-hmm.
and that sprout goes and creates like a aura around, and that from seed, it's your essence. It can beam the light around your aura, and I see you right now. You're like in swirling kind of light, and your light is really this like yellow right now. It's in that the opposite clock, the opposite the clock movement.
Is that my
Uh,
light here on Earth in my body now, my physical body?
you go from green to yellow
Okay.
because sometimes, here's how it goes with your life. Sometimes you need to be green and reflective. Other times you have to be active and acting, physically moving. But you get tired of physically moving, so you need to go back to the green. You're saying it is as if I I went back to that state of mind and body and the energy and my frequency when I lay down on the field of flowers on Mars. I see there's a lot of mountains on top, but they're not very high. I don't see them high. I see them rather wide. And there are caves inside, and there are also houses, like it's like houses inside. And one cave is connected to the other, to the other, to the other, smaller and smaller. And there's a lot of buildings like that built in between the mountains or even on top of the mountains. Because I see there's this one mountain with the tip, it's kind of broken. And there's like a spherical platform and a spherical dome over it. The fascinating part is it completely blends into the atmosphere of Mars and you don't see it. But I do see a lot of those white flowers that used for healing people, and you collect them also. And I see some of them. I can't understand what it is. It's like multiple rings holding the bunch of flowers, but they are sitting on some like a jello thing. And you said, well, that's a little bit of nutrition for them because look at their roots. Their roots embedded into jello. And jello mimics the earth, the ground. So you can take them to enjoy them inside the globe, but then you can put them back in. So you don't kill them. You just plant them back.
Hmm.
It's pretty interesting. But you say sometimes some of them get dry, and when they get dry, sometimes the leaves or the heads, you take them. There's some interesting design machine was a design that you put them inside, and it's almost like it evaporates a little fluid. Kind of looks like essential oil type thing.
Okay.
And you say that it's vibrational, it's very highly vibrational, and it can stimulate the growth of children, it can stimulate their brain activity, it can stimulate a lot of things. And she said, well, if you are in need a little stimulation, you can just smell it a little bit because we don't really sleep. We really don't. But we just go to relax. We work and then relaxing time. And then we go back to work and we don't sleep because we don't need it. Because we're charging up from the nature during relaxing times. But you really like that life there. There's children in white clothes, like white dresses around. To, imagine our body, but it looks lighter and it looks almost like it blends into the atmosphere a little because I can see through a bit of the bodies. They're kind of like white skin, but the blue goes through it a little, creates this interesting effect. That's how adults look. They wear white robes. Some of them, when they depart to some galaxies, they wear the suits. They wear the white suits with golden belt. The belt has, there's an interesting buckle, and it has like It almost looks like those flowers, but they are opposed to each other like this. That's how it looks on the buckle. And there's a guy, his name is Lar. That's how he calls himself. He says he's going to the dragon planet. It's behind Orion. There's a whole, he calls it a dragon tail galaxy. I'm going there, he says. The planets look like they go one after another, like in a line.
Mhm.
And I think he has something to do with you because he comes to you and tells you that he's gonna. It's like, it's like he's your partner, but they don't have this kind of relationship we have here. They just resonate and they do their missions together, or, you kind of like, you like each other at the interest level, more of that rather than anything else. What your interests are. Because I feel the society is all divided into different groups and different groups do different things, which is interesting. So there's also Space Command, and he's on Space Command. There's some beings he meets, they have strange helmets on top, they're very kind of like pointy on the back, and they have this reddish skin, almost like as if it was burned by the fire, but red.
Is the helmet pointy at the front also?
No, it goes like
Oh.
this and goes like, like Sonic figure, that the cartoon guy,
Mm-hmm.
with the kind of like when his hair is still back, it's just
Yes.
like this.
Okay.
But it's all like white, metallized plastic kind of type thing, looks like it. But I'm sure it's something that we don't have on Earth. It just doesn't look like anything on Earth because it's porous. He has pores in it. And it's for lightness. You can go through different densities in it in this outfit. And he just goes to some negotiation platform that is kind of located. It's like a spaceship with two wings. One wing goes up, and the platform is kind of like goes out. And it's just stationary. It's like hovering in space. It's just like that. And then they come to this negotiation platform. It's very interesting. It has the oval, it has a circle, it has the four things. But those are where beings come from. Those are like portal system. They just show up. I just see them like click and they're there. And they're gonna be talking about different beings who are interested in cooperation and how to make some beings not to force others for labor, reinforce that idea. Just a lot of you're talking about slavery, like universal slave system, and how it's spreading. I'm saying you, but it's not really you, it's Lar. But it's like you connected to him, and all of a sudden I switched to him.
Huh.
You know what I mean? And you keep staying on Mars, but because you're connected by interest. This what bothers you. This is what really concerns you, and that's what your purpose you feel like is. You made this purpose for yourself, and your subconscious telling you make your own purpose for yourself because you are the one who creates it. Nobody should be telling you. That's your decision. And that was your decision to keep raising their babies and sending them. It's kind of like a program. Okay, you connect to souls who want to incarnate on earth to help. You tell them how it works, how they have to project on the screen their bodies that they would like to have on earth, and all that, because that's the only way to avoid any beings getting attached to them and, let's say, making them sick when they're born or things like that. They have to guarantee their unhealthy bodies in order to act and make a difference. um,
It's funny because I absolutely love babies. Just,
yeah,
yeah.
it's interesting. Yeah, I saw you right away. You were talking before the session even to me, and I saw you holding those babies. So, well, 8 lives, and this is number 9. You didn't have many, but you've learned quite a bit about human society. And you look at me with these big round eyes. You say you're saying it's a zoo here, isn't it? Isn't it ironic we're just talking about it?
Yes.
Um, yeah, you said it's like one move here and there, and somebody can shoot you. You've been through some things here. Let me see.
Yeah.
Some tribal wars, you say? Yeah. Aztecs. I don't
As
know if I
Aztec.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Do I pronounce it correctly?
Uh-huh.
It's yeah. I see another thing. It kind of reminds me that the area of where they lived reminds you Mars. That's why you went there in the first life. And because you figured if you start from because you're looking at everything from a different perspective. You're looking at it as a wheel, right? So it's like a ring. It's one ring, right? And this ring is divided into different timelines, into different segments or lives. And in each life, there's a different epoch. And you can access any one of them, which you can incarnate physical in only one, but you created this ring for yourself with 9 lives. And that's what's interesting about it, because this is your ninth life, and that's a completion cycle, you say. So you basically you live them all through, and while living this life, you would go back on the first life and check. Did the knowledge that you brought to those people made an influence them in the right way, in the correct way that you wanted them to be influenced? Did it make a difference? Did they understood something? Did they understood the mechanisms how their conscious mind works? You know, how they get infiltrated, how they get influenced by beings. Um, so you go back when you're asleep, you totally go back and forth. Here's
So,
this thing. I understand why I'm looking at this thing was that meeting. It's like a galactic intergalactic meeting because the blue-skinned being with black eyes. It's like this head, like this, and he has like zampe. Oh, come see. Those like oh my, sorry, Italian. The mantis has those things, right? So
mhm.
it's like this blue thing with those things, and he got attached to this lar, and he brought it to you on Mars as you're working out there still. And it got attached to you because I see it's just like sitting funny way. You know what it does? It has its legs around your stomach. And it's like it's on your shoulders and looking over on the babies because it's interested. So through him, he knew that he could get to you
Mm.
because those are the beings who are actually opposing to sign the contract of, well, in general, to be nicer and not to colonize planets, because they're about they are going after humanoid forms and colonize their planets in a sneaky way. You didn't like that. There was a meeting about that.
Mhm.
I don't understand how they did it. Let me see. So let's go to the moment when he got attached. It's kind of like from his mouth going like a little speck of light. And it gets when I want to say your husband all the time, but it's not your husband. When your partner turns around, that speck of light goes right in the middle of his back and goes in there. And that's like an attachment, like a hook, that makes him resonate with that being so the being can attach to him.
Mm.
It creates some sort of like a platform of low vibration on his back. And he grows this very strange looking energetically. Imagine an oval shield with like crows, he have these beaks, like a beak of a crow down.
Mhm.
And that's how he's sitting on that thing on him, and another one is sitting on you. So it's like a passageway for those beings to get attached. And that, well, sometimes you are put in different dreams that are actually created and generated by those beings. And you say sometimes you feel stuck or helpless. And I see some strange dream, like they put you in like a black hole. It looks like a well with water, but you're stuck in it, and you're kind of constantly looking up and saying, "Can anybody help me?" Ah, that's how they attach to you. Okay, I understood that. So I look first, they actually projected this dream to you. In the dream, um, they kind of lured you into this black hole, basically, and then this being comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'm your helper, I'm going to help you out." So he created the problem, and he also created the solution to the problem, except the solution of the problem was that you was thankful to him for helping, and through that being thankful and touching his hand and giving him permission to basically get you out, you also gave him permission to get attached to you.
Mm.
That's what it was. That's why I saw it.
So we'll release him.
Yeah, it's just like, here's the thing. On the back of the like a tailbone is, it goes like around and goes in here.
Mhm.
The two cords, they're kind of yellow orange cords, like light orange color. They're going into all of the reproduction organs are. And there's another one from there until they goes like this chest area and fixates here. There's something here. It looks like horns, like this connected, like this.
Mhm.
It's almost like it gives pressure or pain or some funky kind of feeling here.
Mhm.
But you take it out. It reminds me head of a goat with horns. Just a weird looking implant, really. So you took it out. It's metal. It's just totally metallic color, very like molded. So you took it out. It was like mercury, made out of mercury or something. So you put it on this round table you created in front of you, transparent one without the leg, just floating in front of you. And you took this one set of orange cords and the other set of orange cords, and the little things that were fixated on, which looked like mm, stick and something on a stick, like a nail type thing. It's some system there that gets into the bone structure type thing to fixate it so it would stay in place, because those two nails are also connected through vibration, and I see them sending impulses back and forth. You know what they're trying to do? They were trying to disrupt the informational beam of going to from your own physical self to your own basically energetic self on Mars, even though you're semi-physical there too. But it's more like more transparent body. What I see, it's like third, fourth dimension, something in between, but it's not. The body doesn't function the same way at all. It's more like fourth, I guess, or maybe fifth, seven. They all blended in. It's kind of like interesting idea because you can also change your vibration and go to the stage and that stage that you would like to experience. Because I don't see you. Do I? No, you do eat. You eat some leaves. There's some bushes, and you eat some bushes, like leaves from the bushes. They like they have this dry little stem with lots of tiny little roots, and you can see them on the surface. They're not in the ground like we usually see in our plants. And there's just like different mm, leaves are like this, and straight on top, like triangles, and you eat them. And actually, everybody does. But you ask them if you can take the leaf to eat. Or you're actually standing, there's like a line of those bushes, and you ask the bush, can I eat one of your leaves, or should I go to the next one? It's really funny. It's like because they do know their balance, how many they're supposed to have or something to be vibrationally balanced, something like this. Because it also creates some shield of protection over Mars. Something about the atmospheric layers that different plants create different atmospheric layer protection kind of orb type thing because their orbs blend in and they create like a rainbow that I see uh, all around. And that's why you asked. So let's go back to your um, energy sphere. So you took those out, you open a portal, throw them out. So basically, there's no contract. There's only one contract on Mars that you signed to work with babies. But you said that's okay. We can just change the timeline, and maybe I should change it to back to. I reconsidered coming to Earth because I don't like the zoo. So I see you right here with a black hole and with that mantis looking blue being. And, imagine he's about 30% when I touch him. He's a little even slimy. It's just a weird thing. And he's 30% humanoid form. And then the rest is insectoid blend. So you just don't give him your hand and say you can get out by yourself just by wanting to get out. And that's all you needed to know. And when we want, we can. So you did. You never let him get attached to you. So that never happened. He did. He just fell off of you in the energy sphere, and you just drew with your toe a circle, and he went through the portal. It's like a drain system. You like used your leg to do it. Kind of interesting. And you spun around. Ah, interesting. Yeah, so let's see the DNA to Venetian. 18. So there are 18 strands that are kind of broken in half, but there also I see 29 that are totally black, like blank. So those 29 and 18 is basically, I'm unable to calculate now, but this is your whole DNA.
47.
Yeah, yeah, these are all your strands of DNA. But because I see you working on the unblocking the black ones, and it looks like they use some black goo to do that. It's almost like somebody took a paintbrush and painted it with black goo, and it formed some sort of layer of clay over in dark color, and that's why you can't access them. But then those other ones, they just like broken, like in codons are taken out and they broke. So you're replacing them with the ones you created right now. And so I see them all together again. Yeah, all together. Oh, you're telling me, hey, I can multiply my DNA strands, you know that? We can grow our own because I can pull the abilities and qualities I acquired in other universes and pull them onto myself. And do you see I got 53 now? That's how easy it is. You're pretty funny because you're saying that's how easy it is, everybody. You should just know you can do anything. And so DNA. I have a feeling your subconscious keeps telling me clones, clones. So let's look at the clones then. So it's bringing me to other projections of Mars. Some laboratory. Oi. It's like they made a clone who is actually using your knowledge, but he's raising low vibrational crocodile type hybrids. I see his big eyes staring at me. And he's in some sort of capsule but filled with yellow goo. Bright yellow goo. You don't do the same thing. I mean, basically it's not you. But there are two of them and you're like twins on that in that lab. Two clones? No, six more. You said six more. So which projection is that? It's a 3D projection of Mars that is supposed to be preparing the ground basis for producing some beings who need to be genetically modified for the new projects. They're going to be assisted by your clones in 2027. I'm asking you and say I don't want any clones to be assisting any of the projects. So let's go back. So there are 8 together. Going back where they took the DNA. What the DNA they took. The DNA, this thing, this mantis looking thing being took from you, from that lab, because that lab had your DNA also. Oh, I understand. Because you did take a sample of your own DNA for you to incarnate on Earth, and he got possession of it, like, he had it. And then he basically gave it to them for exchange of something he needed, some technology or something. I feel like there's some piece of technology. And that's how they created those. So you can just disconnect from them
Okay.
and tell that, oh, that I see that being grabbing it. You froze that moment when he does. And you say, no, you're not taking it from me. That's my sample. So you like squeeze it, the bottle, and it just disappears, dissipates in the yellow dust. And he doesn't get it anymore, so there are no clones anymore in that laboratory and in the future in 27. So that's clear. Then, oh, you're saying you need to clean the your so you're already doing it by yourself. You're cleaning your mental, emotional bodies by you made yourself like a transparent, clean. It's like capsule, but you're floating in that garden with the babies, like in between the babies, just in a capsule and enjoying yourself. And those flowers, it's like music to your ears. That's what you say. You feel like you are listening to the most beautiful music, but you don't hear it. It's in your head. It's
Hmm.
like the frequencies in your head, and you interpret it, you know, the way you need it for your own frequency, personal level, to raise to whatever it is that you need. It's like personalized, that you pull onto yourself what you need, but you know, only that.
Here on Earth, I do that, or
No, you did on
okay,
Mars.
okay.
You really like that life. You're very curious being. You're really very curious. You like different things to learn, and you like to participate and feeling like you're doing something um, good, for the benefit of others. So that's your main thing.
Which is still how I am.
Well, that's that's who you are, and so you're just floating there and saying, "Well, I'm clean." But what you did is that frequency bombarded the little imperfections or little tiny gray dots that I saw them. It's like clusters of dust. When you get a cluster of dust, it got bombarded with the frequencies and they just simply dissipated.
Mhm.
Um, and that's what they're gone. I see your emotional mental bodies are crystal clear and you connected, blended in as one body, and that's
And
it.
when you say my emotion and mental body is clear, is it my physical body now on Earth?
So what you are doing right now is you're working on your energetic bodies, you're cleansing them, disconnecting from everything.
Hmm.
And that what is done by your subconscious. So what happens is like I connect to your subconscious, I touch you, make sure it's you, right? So no deception. And then your subconscious starts reading information from my energy field because it looks like we're kissing each other, like we are like this,
Hmm.
my energy sphere next to yours,
We're
and we
touching.
exchange information, and I don't do anything. You're basically standing, okay, so first step is this, that, and this, and let's go there. And that's why you were even ahead of time showing me some things that I connected a little later,
Hmm.
because you read it's like a file I gave you, and
Hmm.
you understood, and now you're saying that you're clean and you're ready to go. Yeah. So you did all the work. Your energy body. Your energy body looks exactly like you, but in energy, as just energy, right?
Yes.
So like yellowish kind of energy. Was that green glow? That it goes in and out, green, in and out, you're like a tie-dye. So that's how I see you, but your face is looking at me like yours, but at the same time I see you sitting and looking at me in the like your physical body. Your physical body is separate from your energetic body because energetic body is doing the important things there, but you also connect it and you get all the information what is being done, so you are logically assessing it and recording it, which is important. So it's gonna calm down. It's gonna take some time to calm down. You know, some people it takes a day, others people it takes longer. Just a process, a different process for everybody. You
Mhm.
know, for me it was, for me personally, like it was, I felt right away, like that night, some things, like maybe 20%
Mhm.
of what I've done in the circ, and then it kept coming. But then I kept unveiling the programs that I had that I understood actually. Oh, I have this program. So once you understand what programs you have of behavior or whatever, you know, then you can unprogram just by understanding that it exists. So creator can create, creator can uncreate, creator can make himself or herself sick and make herself healthy again, you know. So that's basically what's going to happen. But yeah, this insectoid hybrid, he was taking 42% of your energy at times, and sometimes 40, sometimes 40. Yeah, but it depends. It fluctuated from in between 37 and like 42, you know, sometimes 47. It depends. It would depend on how much he would feel he can take from you because he also wanted you to function in the physical world. So,
Interesting.
mm. So you can ask questions or we can finish
Okay.
this part. It's up to you.
I've got some questions. So, I think maybe about a month ago, I didn't feel it
Mhm.
was a dream. I felt it was real, but I was sleeping. And I felt, I saw very vividly, almost like a bunch of files, computer
Mm.
files, just strolling away from me upward. And I felt like I was being deprogrammed.
Mm, it's because of the clones, because I see clones, I see Mars, I
Okay.
see that laboratory again.
Uh-huh.
I think
And
they
I
were
was trying to,
activating some clones.
oh, they were, okay, because I was trying to look at the files and I would see images of people or events, nothing traumatic, but and then I would just, it was just all the files. It was like a computer and they were just moving upward away from me. And I was trying to look at them and slow them down to look at them, but it was going too fast.
Right, because files, it kind of, it is kind of how it looks. So what I see is that I hook up the a cloned body to some, it's just some sort of technology to upload some programs from the files to those bodies. And I see two of them, how they were doing it at the same time. And basically, because they were connected, you could also see through their eyes what was happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
And we removed that. We shut them down, right?
right. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's all gone.
Okay.
But that's the thing when you're connected to any clones or hybrids, you can have flashbacks that you feel from their lives, and you would think like, oh, interesting, you know, what am I seeing here? Or you would see visions, you would see dreams, but those dreams are actually what they're going through at the moment.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm glad that you mentioned that because um I think maybe in 2017, maybe 18, I was driving home from work, just a normal
Mhm.
day, not under any stress, nothing was really happening. And I literally saw a vision who I thought was me. It was a baby, about 4 months old, maybe 5 months old. Um, and this may be a little too graphic for YouTube, but and I was laying on my back in a bathroom, and my little baby hand was touching the tap.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
so
understand. I see
okay,
it.
Okay. And I
Projections into your head. You
okay.
know, they were trying to distort your visions. Basically, that love that you have for babies, they're trying to distort it in a negative way. It's like the other polarity.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Disgust you to make you feel disgusted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see like you are in a holographic cube and you have like a screen in front of you and it's in your head,
Mhm.
if it makes sense, you know. The
Yeah.
the beams into your head projecting all this.
Okay.
Mm.
Because I through energy work, it kind of came up who was doing that to me, and so so it didn't happen.
Um, in reality, it did not happen, but it was a projection. They have
Okay.
uh, they have a lot of programs that they can project, like dreams or visions into your
Okay.
head. That
Uh-huh.
would be like that.
Yes, because it was when I was driving, it was literally like a flickers of flickers of a movie that played so clearly while
Hmm.
I was driving. It didn't cause me to crash or anything like that. I could clearly see, but and it probably was seconds, it, but it was just so clear.
Right, because when you're driving, you go into this alpha brainwave,
Yeah.
like I am right now.
Yeah.
So you start seeing things. You're
Okay.
driving on autopilot because you know how to do it. Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Um, okay. So last summer, I was living in Arizona at the time, and I was there by myself, and I was had just found out about all of this stuff going on, and waking up, and I was very troubled, couldn't sleep, and
Mhm.
I was laying in my bed, 1:30 in the morning, and I saw a very, very bright light projecting from outside my house, shining into my bathroom. It was coming from above,
Mhm.
and I lived kind of in the mountains. So it wasn't a helicopter. It was, 1:30 at night. There was no noise.
Mhm.
And it stayed there. It moved around a little bit, and I could see the light coming through my window blinds. And then I was kind of getting freaked out. And then it just moved kind of to the left and then shut off.
Does not have to do with you. It's rather they're scanning the territory. I see an interesting thing going on. It's like a helicopter that turns into our um it's almost like it turns into some shape shifts into this triangular, you know, the spaceship that well,
Uh-huh.
its military uses it, so
Yeah.
it's no aliens on it. I see people. I see people scanning with the radar system for looking for somebody, but it wasn't you they were looking for. They would get close to each house like that.
Okay. So it wasn't like a light beam or anything like that.
Black spider radar system, F3 or whatever that is, it says.
You said you,
I don't know what it is. It really came to me.
okay.
So we can look it up later. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So in about March of 2019, I was just starting to learn to meditate. And
Mhm.
while I was meditating, I think I was probably doing it for about a month and a half. And so I was meditating, and I sensed, I didn't hear a voice, but I sensed a male voice say to me, "You will receive your healing in Arizona."
Mm. It's your own higher self. It's you
Okay.
yourself told yourself. As a matter of fact, it's part of you that is connected to Lar, your partner, who
Oh,
came to tell you. You really blend in. It's really interesting. I think you have a deep connection at a soul level right there. It's kind of like the same cluster of souls that work on one project and incarnate together in different planets type thing.
That is so interesting.
Mhm.
Um, any portals or implants, um, or negative entities? I don't have that so much of a problem now. I had several portals and I closed them all.
You had like
A lot.
you had like a cube, looks like a dice, and each side was a portal, and it was spinning and rolling all around through every room, across every room. That's how I see it when you start talking about portals. It's some sort of device that it's supposed to resonate with some low vibrational frequencies of some devices or some corners and angles and spots of the rooms, this room or that room, to have like to help low vibrational beings come
Yes.
through you to other dimensions to get
Yes.
points.
Yes. And there was a lot of, disembodied spirits would
Hmm.
come through, and not some of them not so good.
Right.
So, I would send them to source light. I'm not sure if I was doing that right.
No, that's right. You just open portal for them and tell them to raise their vibration if they can, and
Mhm.
goes through. But it looks like it literally looks like a rounded dice, and each portal has a number, and they went by the numbers. Numbers carry frequencies, and they knew which one to use to go where.
Okay. Beautiful. Um, so I had spoken to a woman. She's a prophet, and last year, and she had mentioned to me, um, as a message from God, source, that there is more to my inheritance than I know.
Hmm.
Does anything come through about that?
It's about your etheric DNA.
My third DNA?
Etheric DNA,
Oh, my
because
etheric?
you can do a lot and you didn't know about it. It was hidden from you because they blocked those trends. That's what she meant.
Okay. And I was told that there was something about my bloodline or my DNA. Is it because of that? Does it have to do
Yeah,
with healing?
it's yeah, because it's Arcturian Venetian. Venetian carries this um soft vibration of beauty and healing and all this. Healing through beauty. You like beautiful things. You like things in harmony. You like things like music and just something that looks pretty genuine. Um, you know, just you like when it's you feel the beauty in everything and you can pick and choose. You can pick out the beautiful things and everywhere you go, and you can create beautiful things, and by absorbing those beautiful things you accumulate them and you turn them into this vibration of giving out beautiful things, which some people just need healing through beauty, through understanding, because it's also comes with it. So it's all back and forth, and Arcturians are very smart at technology, but also very smart at using the right technology combined with person's abilities for that person to learn to heal himself or herself. So that you carry that in DNA too.
Okay,
So
beautiful. Um, oh, so my husband and I gave DNA samples,
mm,
unknowing,
yeah,
unknowing.
almost everybody did.
Oh gosh.
You
Um,
canceled all of that.
so we
So
did we cancel that as
you
well?
Yeah, you destroyed all the DNA. You know, the DNA sample, it was like a physical connection to that insectoid hybrid taking your DNA. It's like a physical manifestation and a trickery of
Yeah,
here. If you told him, hey, but I didn't let you, but he said, well, but you didn't. You did do it at the physical level, so that
yeah,
means I can take it at the third. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Wow.
connected.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't dream a lot. Um,
You just don't remember.
I don't remember.
You have a system built in into your DNA that you erase your memories because you don't want to remember. Otherwise, you would be willing to go back, even
Oh,
now.
okay. So is it because I go
It's
to
it's
the
not
lab?
that, yeah, to the lab because you don't want so you don't want beings who control the level where we're now at.
Hmm.
Know how those souls came through. There's certain technology that they used. It's pretty
Okay.
complicated because the souls are protected from a lot of things.
Okay. So is this, I guess, revelation of you telling me this, is that protected?
Yeah, it's time for you to know because the completion cycle is complete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so do I have more lives after this or
No, you program them to be 9, and you specifically programmed so nobody can unprogram or insert more lives. You
okay.
have some golden whatever ring of protection around them. It looks like a wheel with a golden kind of flame around it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But because when 9 goes back to 1, you say. So it's like you made a loop and you're back to Mars. That's what you're saying.
Okay. So after my ninth life, after this life, I go back to Mars. Okay. And is
Uh,
that
you can do that. You can also just pull yourself all the way up to the platform of creation where I also see your energy and
uh-huh.
you're smiling at me.
So what do I do there?
You're pretty funny. You say, hello, I'm here. I'm here too. Look how many layers I got. I got this person on Mars, her partner who is like really connected to her, soul cluster, and she's also incarnated here in the physical. But she can do whatever she wants to do. That's of your free will. If you're going back to join your main energy, just, can call it your higher self, then you just do that. And then, you decide if you want to pull up, if your mission is down there, which looks like it is, because babies who are needed already, here.
Hmm.
And I feel like with you, it was the right time to wake up, the right time to find out this. It
Hmm.
usually is the right time, but you were not pushing. You were just your curiosity of a scientist, of somebody who likes to experience things and test things, brought you to your completion.
Hmm.
You sped up in it, and so it's like you acquired a lot of knowledge in your life and understanding that was important for you because that understanding brought you to the point of your awakening, because with that understanding level you could not resist but wake up.
Hmm. It's beautiful. Um, let's see. I have some questions. Blockages. I have a very difficult time um, visualizing, when I meditate or opening my third eye.
Remember that thing that looked like the head
Oh,
was the horns? That's the
okay.
one that was blocking you. That's the one that this hybrid put into you.
Okay. All right, so
No. It's gone now. You
okay,
just, all you have to do is to trust yourself,
yeah,
and I feel like you're gonna see, because some people by their DNA are not gonna see, but they're gonna rather feel or know.
uh,
But with you, I feel like you're very related to seeing beauty, seeing things, pictures. So
yeah,
I think you're gonna have visualizations.
okay. And with the energy work that I do, when I first started last year, when I first started learning, I guess I don't know when I was activated, but when I first started learning, I really felt, I guess, more of a vibration here in my heart chakra area,
Mhm.
pulsing. And then as I started to, learn more and more and more, I feel like that has gone away. And sometimes I can kind of see things in my mind when I'm working with a client, not visually acting out, but I can sense something.
Yeah,
And it kind of comes and goes, but maybe this implant was what was a
yeah.
problem.
Well, they're really connected, the same plants, kind of like right here. But I also feel like because he was on you on the back with his little hands, arms right,
Hmm.
wrapped around you. So it's kind of also squeezing you in a way, breaking the interfering the electromagnetic field of your heart and soul connection. And that's why you felt like when you really struggled and wanted to feel it, it would pulsate. You would get glimpses of how it feels, but then he would block it again.
Okay.
Because we always have power over them. It just you were lacking information how to get detached.
Yes, and I think me struggling with this reality of how things really are, and me having a difficult time letting go of what I thought I knew, with the Bible and with everything, and
The
then to find
religious.
out that everything has been manipulated and a lie, you know.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to let go of all that. Um, not that I need to, but as far as just, more of knowing more of my connection with God and Him only, not, and just letting go of religion, and
Yeah.
just connecting to source.
The thing is, like, who is God for you?
Yeah.
And, it simply comes with understanding that creation is, why would they pick one of the other energy to say this is goddess or this is God? This is duality here, right here. And we have both energies in us. So both energies are equally important. And why is that God has to be looking like a human being?
Mm,
And then the Bible, there's so many contradictory things in the Bible. I mean, I never read it. I never
yeah.
grew in religion, but some of the things eye for an eye and things
Yeah.
like that. Is it really something you want to do? Or you just want to show by example how to act
Mm-hmm.
to people? But yeah, it just comes, the detachment comes with that. It's your logic. I didn't see a religious egregor connected to you. You
Okay.
already cut that. By being shocked that the whole thing was a lie, you cut the cord. But it's in your rational mind. You still have a little bit programming there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but those chords are gonna be like the strings of the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
ding dong ding,
Yeah.
like you're cutting one by one. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a process. Everything is kind of like
Yeah.
comes through experience and understanding.
Yeah. And it has to
Because
happen slowly.
we're all creators. We get together, we create universe. You create this planet, you create that planet. Do you like my creation? Let's make these planets connect. Let's make beings go back and forth and seeding life, or maybe incarnating here and there. You know what I mean? It's almost like the whole thing is like a virtual game in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but it comes from one spark of light,
Yeah.
which can expand also to, you know, you don't see the end of that light, but also
Mm-hmm.
can come to this one spark again,
Yeah.
expand and contract. So
Yeah.
you totally feel like you don't need. See, and also experience, like when you start trusting yourself more and
Mm-hmm.
seeing how life unfolds and how synchronicities happen when you trust
Mm-hmm.
yourself, you really start liking it. And
Yeah.
then manifestations happen and the right people come. And you feel calm and happy every day. Well, things happen also, but
Sure.
you bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
So it just feels good to not to give your free will and responsibility for your own decisions to anybody else, because if something happens,
Yeah.
you first of all you look at yourself. Well, what did I do? Well, it
Mm-hmm.
looks like I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So you're truthful to yourself and you feel
Yeah.
good with yourself. That's the most important thing. You don't
Yeah.
feel good for the God, but you feel good for yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Um, so I was told the energy work that I do is non-physical. It's all energetic, remote. I work with my clients. Uh, but I was told that I have healing in my hands. And so I'm Native American Indian, and I come from a family line of healers, of medicine men, um, and women. So what is the healing in the hands about?
because your first life was as Aztecs, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you went through a lot of tribal lives because you really wanted to stay true, connected to nature, and that was the best way to do it.
Okay.
For you to program your life, because nobody programmed it for you. I usually see that beings program lives for the soul, but in your case, you did. And because you wanted to practice how it is in the physical body to concentrate your energy. Let's say I'll concentrate in the palms of your hand. By the way, you could have programmed it to be a different way. Concentrate it here or somewhere else. It doesn't matter. Hands is not necessary, but in your case, you wanted it to be in your hands because it's easy. It's convenient. You touch
Mhm.
people or you touch. So by the frequency and the of your thought of your mind concentrating, that I want to do just that, you do just that. It's kind of like how do we control our physical body? You know, you want to do this, you want to run, and your legs start running. The same thing. You want to
Mhm.
heal, you concentrate your energy, and it just happens. So, but you have to believe in it, and I know you
Yes.
do. You do
Yeah,
because you just need it. Yeah, you got confirmations all over the place.
yeah. Yeah. I'm learning more and more all the time. So am I so is this what I'm supposed to do, is help in the healing of specific people that are to wake up now, that have a purpose now, or is it just in general?
Yeah, the interesting thing I see, like I'm standing next to your energy sphere and I put my hands against yours and we show that we both have the energies in our hands. Well, we come to each other for a reason, and if
Yes.
when it feels right with the right person, there is a reason why. So
Yes.
maybe people who even watch this video would come to you
Hmm.
because they like your voice. There's just something healing about your voice. I feel very calm with you. It's almost like I go into theta wave. Then, with some people I would just stay in alpha because their voice is disrupting. That kind of like calmness. But yeah, I mean, you wanted to bring that knowledge of healing, and you also gonna contribute to. mm, it popped up healing centers to me. So
Healing centers. Okay.
yeah, there's going to be a lot of people going there and learning how to use certain technology, out of this world technology. And you already know how to do it. You'll just
Yeah.
have to activate your memory by just looking at that thing, and you'll
Yeah.
know how to operate it.
Yeah. I love I love what I do. I love what I
Mm.
do. I love the joy that others have, my clients have, and it's just I love it. Um, okay, so I have just a couple more questions. So my mom and my dad died,
Mm.
and both of cancer. Um, so I just wanted to, are you we able to connect with them? I mean, kind of what's going on with them? My dad
Right.
was kind of hanging around a little bit, and I was actually with my mother when she passed, and so that was very much an honor to be with her as she left. But my father left, um, and so, but he was kind of hanging around me. He was kind of hanging around my sister after, he. Um, so I don't know where I thought um, my dad seemed kind of sad. And I went through a regressive hypnotherapy therapy not too long ago
Mm.
with someone else, and I kind of saw him, and he just looked sad.
Because he's in the capsule that opens up and in, and he's got the headphone type thing, but they just a huge metallic thing goes over his head and on the ears, and he's your mother, right? Because they are, there's like two by two.
Uh-huh.
There's a round chip, and there's two by two. I think there are related souls that they put together, and they put implants in them during the physical life. And those beings are, they're like hybrids of mitras and some humanoid form, because they have this wrinkled skin, they're long black eyes like grays do, wrinkled skin, and like brownish kind of brick color skin.
Mm-hmm.
And I four fingers, and they put the energy bodies. They were on like a bungee rope, really, because the
Mm,
minute they got out of the body, they got pulled into this spaceship. And I also see this green kind of like mantis looking beings. They're very small, and they're peeking around at me. They have this like lizard would have on the back and the black
mhm.
eyes. They're helping them with something. This other, they have
Can we
three eyes. Yeah,
can
we
we help
can.
them?
You are there, and I'm standing there too. They imagine the pods. It looks like an egg, but it's molded egg. That's how they lie. And
Mm,
then they open up and close like this.
mm.
Um, and you touched your mothers, and I touched your fathers, and they just like broke in. Like looks like plastic. We broke plastic. We burned through it because when we touched it, it's like burns, melted. And I see you holding your both hands on your mother's heart. I'm doing the same. We froze everybody. Still see that face of a lizard staring. And we're just holding the hands like this, on their hearts. And I just feel like there's impulse that it's not warm, which would usually happen, but it's like a impulse that something's pushing.
Mhm.
I think it's just some sort of implant that is pushing out, because I see something came out and just like broke through, and there's like slime and stuff came out. They were in some sort of slimy suit. It's gray and it's thick and it's rubberized, and that broke too. And then I see their energy bodies, and they're both like in these green energy bodies. Like, I think there were used to be green-skinned humanoids or something.
Mhm.
Because they both got this interesting thing. It's like a mark in the middle here, like goes like this.
Mm.
But it's like some sort of I think that belongs to their race. They have these big eyes.
Mhm.
They look like human eyes because they're round pupils. They're standing together. They're hugging.
Beautiful.
They came to me that she said that they're mother and son in other
Really
planet. In other planet. They created an interesting spaceship. It's like this, like this, like this. And there are two oval spaces for them to sit, and they sit together and just like flew away.
beautiful. So they're safe.
Yeah, yeah. Crown constellation,
Okay.
Corona. Does it exist? Well, we'll look it up later. But I see the name Crown with a C.
Beautiful. Um, am I protecting myself properly?
Yeah, you protect yourself by knowledge.
Okay.
And right now, I mean, there's nothing in your energy sphere outside your energy sphere, and it's perfectly round.
Okay.
There's no indentations or anything.
Beautiful.
You just know that you're stronger than any technology, any being. You really are. It's
Yes.
just that, that's why they hide the truth from us.
Yes.
Because if we know, we're more powerful than them.
Yeah. I've been learning that more and more, and putting that into practice. And as I listen to you, um, talking with other clients, putting some of those things in practice and learning, because I'm realizing that I can do anything. And so, um, I have, so I have a grandson, and I noticed on the inside of his arm, he has 5 dots. It looks like a dice of 5, and they're little
Hmm.
bumps.
He's marked.
I thought so. He's also scared of the dark, so he wants to sleep with the lights on. So I saw those marks. I assumed that that's what it was. And he did. It happened, I believe, this past year because I never noticed it before.
Mhm. Yeah, because he was when you said that your grandson, I started seeing it's like a red plasma, and he's lying in the plasma. And then I look further, there's like it's like a multiple layered rocket saying built into the wall of some laboratory, and he's put in this red plasma pushed inside by some humanoid that looks like he's got silver hair, literally silver hair. It looks like Pleiadian but with silver hair. He's got the reptilian eyes. He's a hybrid. Sares. I hear they call him Sares. I see a mantis staring at me right now. He's whitish, white skinned. He's ours. His mother signed the contract for him.
His
Sh
earthly
sh
mother.
yeah, cause she really wanted a baby. We gave her a baby, but she had to sign a contract.
Is there anything that we can do since
And
he's my bloodline?
she's standing like on this cliff, and she's got this big wings. They almost look like bats' wings, but they're in this purple color. And she's like doing this, and she's asking the universe to give her a child.
Mm.
That's what I see. And that's when they come.
Mm.
And they come as this like all it's just a classical thing with a long beard,
Mhm.
As I don't even see their feet. That and with this, but the face is similar,
Mhm.
pretty much the same with that metallic hair.
Mhm.
And they say, well, we came to you because you called us. Every time you call, we come. So which is truth.
Mhm.
That's why we shouldn't be praying and calling on help, because somebody, some malevolent being can come and take over you.
Mhm.
Um, but that's what happened. Then they gives you this papyrus paper and this kind of like a metallic stick, and she beams the light, and she does this just kind of like a stranger looking thing,
Mhm.
and it's done. So, well, she can go back. Well, I'm showing it to her, and she's looking at it right now because she's right there. And she says, "Thank you for the information. I'll use it." But they did this. It's like a stamp thing. They
Mhm.
stamp it on everybody.
It looks like a stamp.
It's like a burnt in not the plasma, with the it's called the laser beam stamp, something like this.
Yeah, that's what it
So,
looks like. So, is there anything that we can do, or does she have to do it?
well, it can even dissipate with time for him
Okay. Okay.
because the contract is broken. She decides not to sign it.
Okay.
She's actually pretty, I mean, her subconscious surprisingly did all of this, because a lot of times subconscious would not even take information.
Mhm.
But she recognized, and she saw it. It's like we showed her the like a screen with remember what happened, and that's how it is.
Okay. Good. Um, my daughter, I have a very difficult relationship with her, which I don't want. And it seemed that at the age of 15, she literally walked down the stairs getting ready to go to school, and she was different. She wouldn't hug me. Um, and it seems like from that day forward, she became very rebellious.
Right. They
And
inserted something, some ball into her head. I see a hand with 3 fingers inserting a ball into her head. The ball looks like a multi-layered mechanical metallic ball with different sections inside. And that's stored, and it produces, there is something breeds in it, produces some, uh, they look like little centipedes but metallic, but they're really tiny, and they start going down her body from hand down. And it's like they created an overlay. I literally see her like she's under the metallic bell of some sort. Because she's powerful. They wanted to block her.
yeah, I do believe that she's very powerful, but I definitely believe that she, has been manipulated, and a lot of negative energy um,
Could
with
be
her.
right.
She has separated herself pretty much from her family.
Yeah, the being looks like a frog type being with 3 fingers only. Like a grays, black eyes. And those fingers with the soft pillows on the back, yeah.
Can we help her?
Well, you're asking her if you would take my information. No, I don't. No, I don't. You know, they're talking for her. She's got something in her mouth.
Yeah, she does.
Stuck.
She has a tongue ring, a ring, like a stud on her tongue.
Yeah, but it looks like a harmonica implant or something. It goes across her mouth in the etheric. She can't really talk for herself. She probably feels it at the physical level, and that's why she wanted that ring thing. Because she doesn't know how to interpret it. She doesn't have the knowledge, but I feel something's wrong in that particular area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her.
Yeah, when I'm doing energy work and I release a lot of generational um, emotions and energies and things like that. Her higher self will
Hmm.
often not let me release it from her, but everyone else will release it, but her.
Yeah, because I see that. I understand what they did. It's like because you programmed yourself for this 9 lives to be non-interfered, even though you did get interfered, but on a scale of how others get interfered, yours is very small. But with her, it's like they implanted her. I see like they literally forced her to be your child because that's the only thing you didn't think about to
Mhm.
program your children. And it's like a matrix program working together with the outside forces, because it wasn't that hybrid mantis who did it, who implanted her. It was like family matrix egregor or something type thing
Mhm.
that made it happen, because they felt that otherwise if you had like somebody who's, see, she's powerful but she's not evolved consciously.
Mm-mm.
That's what they wanted, and they wanted you be frustrated about it. And it's like you're constantly, it's not comfortable, right? It's just
No, it's
something always pulling you back
very
in your
hurtful.
own, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So that's what they do to us. I
Yeah.
mean,
And I really have learned a lot about understanding that we are each in our own journeys, and I've come a long way with that. And
mhm.
uh, so I am really, trying to give, all my children their space in their journey and experience, what they choose. Um, but still, as a mother, I am so very torn, and I see her. She's so beautiful, and um, it just rips me apart. But I
Yeah.
try not to focus on that pain and hurt, because I understand, if you want to call it the dark side or darkness or whatever, that's what they want. So I try to remember to just send her love. But um, just hearing how some of this, can happen, I didn't know if there was anything that I could do to help her.
Yeah, well, your subconscious said it's not no interference at this point because she has to bump into some obstacles here and there.
Yes. Yeah, I understand that. Okay. I respect that. And what about I have an older son who
Mm.
is in music, producing and things like that, and working and going for what he loves to do. But I feel like there's a lot of obstacles that are really just not letting him move forward and be successful with what he loves to do.
There's some being with the eagle head behind him right away. First, I saw him flying. He knows how to fly. He's been a bird before. He's been beings who like to fly all together. He likes this flying motion. And that's why they fluently, how music is fluent and how you can control he knows, I feel like he knows how to control the atmospheric
Yes,
layers and all
he's
this.
really dabbling and learning a lot more about that.
Yeah, so it's just that, like a falcon guy being, imagine it's a humanoid form. He's got this hand, he's got arms. The arms have the wings attached. He's got a little bit of feathers on his stomach, but then he's standing like the feet of a human. And then he has a hat with an eagle, like that. He's just every time basically son wants to fly high, he pushes him down with his wings. And also, when he wants to focus, a lot of times he would do this before his eyes, kind of like that. Um, he likes to take him off the course a lot too. He's
Yeah.
kind of like playing around with him all the time, and he's been very yeah, kind of treating him like a toy. Like, look what I can do to him, and he doesn't even know. Then you're giving him a book. You're giving him a big green book of self-help. You called it. There's a big like golden heart on it, and there's a sun symbol in the middle. You just gave it to him.
Okay.
He took it.
Okay. Okay. And then I have a my middle child, my son.
Yeah, there's like a lucertola. One second. The lizard. Yeah, the lizard. Being right there. Right like in between his feet. Here and there. Crawls on his back, on his stomach, gets into his stomach, takes something out. But I think he's growing something in his stomach or something like this. Purple eggs. Some little purple eggs. The common is sac. It's like a transparent white energetic sac that he takes out, periodically inserts it, takes out, goes away. So he has these moments of like up and down, energetically and altogether, like emotionally, mentally, I'm sure, because of this lizard coming. And then it plays with his hormones because he kind of pulls all his energy towards his stomach area where the eggs are being ripened, or I don't know how to call it, yeah, developed, basically. He uses them as a human incubator. He wants his warmth, he wants his soul's energy. Um, that's all he does. That's purely for the energy that he's attached.
Is there anything
So
I can
you
do to
showed
help him?
him, you're
Okay.
holding a mirror in front of him. He's looking at it. He says, well, this is really creepy. He reaches in, takes the sack. He's holding the sack like this. He says, wow, like little purple marbles. And the lizard was sent by a draconian guy. Looks like a draconian, green draconian type. Was the gray spots on the stomach, on the top of his head. Yeah, on the tail too. So he tells him to go away, take his babies. and go. He opens the portal and he orders him to go out, and he did. It has something to do. He felt bad for somebody or sorry. He felt terrible. He saw something happen to somebody. That's how this lizard came to him. Some feeling of that. He said feeling bad for, yes. Said some animal was mistreated.
In
But
the
it was
physical
it
here?
was 2 lives before, not in this
Oh,
life. He
okay.
came to with this attachment.
Mm,
It's like he was some sort of a boy who was on the farm, and he's showing me, just they usually don't show, but I think he trusts me because he trusts you, at least on the etheric level. Um, like he saw that the cows would get beaten by a stick by a farmer or something, and he didn't like that, and he felt sorry every single day that they would be done to them. But he was actually, that was his father who was doing it. Well, there's very deep, kind of like sadness in there.
mm-hmm. Yes.
That's what I hear from him.
Mm-hmm.
Or he can take it out. I told him he can collect it,
Okay.
throw it out in the portal, or
Yeah.
take the energy and transform it into something positive. And he said, yeah, love for
Beautiful.
animals.
Beautiful.
He did that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Hmm.
And um, my husband, this is the last one. My
Hmm.
husband, so we've been married a long time, and
He carries some banner, some red flag. What is this? He's carrying some flag. He's drumming on the drum. And somebody makes him walk around and drum on the drum and carry the banner. And he's tired of it. He's really frustrated about it.
mm-hmm,
It's like he cannot help but be angry inside.
mm-hmm,
What is this all? It's like he's participating in some sort of parade, but it's organized by reptilians. Because I see a bunch of reptilians behind him dressed in uniforms. Like military green uniforms.
he was in the military.
Oh, okay. Well, he's like some sort of, but he's supposed to lead the way, and he is leading the way in a labyrinth. I literally see like platform, right, above the earth, and there's a labyrinth, and he goes from one tunnel to another, and you just have to keep jumping. And he said, I can't do it anymore. He's whispering like this because he's afraid that he's gonna be that they're gonna be punished. They're gonna punish him. They told him. So he's basically punishes others around him because he's so tired of it, and he's afraid of being punished himself. That's what he's telling me. So you told him you can freeze the scene, stop it, block it. So they all stopped. Take off the drum. The drum is actually an implant. It's connected to his heart, closing heart and solar plexus and stomach, all three. Took it off. The sticks, generators of low vibrational energy. You go, that's the generator. And he said, well, it kind of feels better. So I can just keep them frozen. Here's a self book. This time it's red, like that banner. He said, and that thing actually, see like his shoulder is embedded, like it's in, there's a stick. You can still, he put it down, but in imprinted was a stick. And it was really hurting his body, he says.
Yeah, his left, he has really bad problems with his left scapula area
Mm.
and left shoulder.
Yeah,
Always.
because of carrying this.
Okay. That must
Okay,
be okay.
just
Um,
took it
that's
all down.
beautiful.
He's happy now. He's jumping around, no marching around. He's really funny
Beautiful.
though. Yeah.
Beautiful. I have one more question that I can ask. It should be quick.
Sure.
Ask when we're done.
Hmm.
Thank you so
Oh
much.
yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah. 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 I understood. You want it separately. Okay.